All right, let's talk about a tool that's promising something pretty wild, to be your own personal video co-director. The idea is that it can turn a simple chunk of text into a finished video in just a few minutes. It's called Steve AI, so let's dive in and see what it's all about. You've probably been in this spot before, right? You need a video, maybe for a marketing campaign, for your socials, or for a lesson you're teaching, but the barriers are just so high. It takes forever, it costs money, and let's be honest, video editing software can be a total nightmare. Well, that's the exact pain point Steve AI is trying to eliminate. So what is this thing really? At its core, Steve AI is what's called a text-to-video platform. You just feed it the words, and that could be a script you wrote, a link to your latest blog post, or even an audio file. From there, its AI engine just gets to work automatically building a whole video for you. And this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's made by a company called Animaker Inc., and they've got a pretty solid track record. They're a global software company with development roots in India and corporate headquarters in the US. The point is, they've been in this do-it-yourself video game for a while, so this is definitely not their first rodeo. Okay, so how does it actually turn a simple script into a full-blown video? Let's pull back the curtain and see how the whole process works. The best way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like hiring your own personal AI video director. Seriously, you're the writer, you bring the script, the big idea. And then the AI, it handles all the other stuff. It's the director, the cinematographer, the initial editor. It finds all the visuals and stitches it all together for you. And the process itself is really just 6 simple steps. First, you log in and pick what kind of video you're making. Step 2, you feed it your content, script, URL, you name it. 3, you give it a little context. What's this for? What size should it be? Then boom, step 4, the AI spits out the first draft. Now, this is where you jump back in for step 5, customizing and tweaking. And finally, step 6 is the easy part. You just render and download your video. And this is absolutely the key right here. Step 5, customization. You are not stuck with whatever the AI first throws at you. This is where your human creativity meets the AI's speed. So let's say your script is about pets and the AI picks a shot of a dog, but your whole brand is about cats. No problem. You just hit swap, search for a cat, and bam, it's replaced instantly. You always have the final say on every single visual. Now, one of the most powerful features of Steve AI is that it is definitely not a one-trick pony. You get to make a pretty fundamental choice right at the start about the entire look and feel of your video. You get to choose between 2 totally different modes. On the one hand, you've got live action mode. This pulls from a massive library of real stock video clips and photos. It's perfect if you're going for that professional, polished look for a corporate promo or a social media ad. Then, on the other hand, there's animation mode. This gives you 2D cartoon characters and scenes, which is fantastic for explainer videos, educational content, or walking through a product. And get this, it even has automatic lip syncing for your voiceover. Pretty cool. Of course, this kind of power usually comes at a price. So let's get to the big question. What's this actually going to cost? Steve AI runs on that classic Freemium model, which just means there are different tiers for different needs. So there's a free plan, which is perfect from just trying the tool out and kicking the tires. But just know your videos will have a watermark and they're limited to 720p. If you want to get serious, you'll be looking at the paid plans like Basic and Pro. That's how you get rid of the watermark and unlock those super sharp resolutions like 2K or even 4K, which is pretty much essential for any professional project. And listen up, because this is a really important detail. If you plan on using your video for any commercial purpose, like running it as a paid ad on social media, you absolutely need to be on a paid plan. Those plans are what grant you the proper legal rights to use all that stock footage for your business. So don't skip over that fine print. Now, with any powerful tool, it's really important to use it wisely. So before you even think about hitting that publish button, let's go over a quick checklist to make sure you're using this AI director safely and, effectively. This quote really hits the nail on the head because it highlights a key limitation of any AI right now: context. An AI just doesn't understand nuance the way a human does. For example, your HR training video might mention firing an employee, and the AI could pull a completely inappropriate image of a gun. It's a memorable and kind of scary example that illustrates a really serious point. And that is exactly why a final human review is non-negotiable. So first, you have to check all the visuals for context. Second, double check that your plan gives you the commercial rights you actually need. Third, make sure all the visuals are brand safe and align with your company's image. And finally, if you let the AI write the script for you, you must fact check it. So when you pull it all together, who is the ideal person for a tool like Steve AI? Well, it's really built for people who need to create a lot of video content fast. We're talking marketers, educators, social media creators, anyone who just doesn't have the time or the deep technical skills for traditional video editing. And that leaves us with a final thought. As tools like Steve AI start taking on all the technical tasks of creation, the editing, the searching for clips, the timing, it really shifts our role. Our job becomes less about the how and more about the what and the why. It's about having that killer idea, writing the perfect script, and providing that final crucial layer of human context and curation. It really makes you wonder, what does our creativity even look like in the age of AI?